Hey everyone, hey guys, please let me know how my sound is. Messing with the mic again. You guys know how I am with the microphone. It was great, got a new one, was great for a day. Love you too. Sorry, my husband's leaving. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. On this channel, we try to cover all things reality TV. We are knee deep into Sister Wives season 18, where Janelle has decided to leave Cody. Christine is decided to date. We're covering the situation with Team Mom David Eason, Team Mom Janelle Eason, and David Eason, and their situation with Jace running away several times, and so much so that he ran away 3 times, and the last time he left. Okay, I will have timestamps because this will probably be a longer stream. I'm going to do timestamps. On my last video, I did timestamps. All you have to do is go to the comment section and you'll see where it says timestamps and you'll see the times. If you click on those times, it'll take you right to that time of the video where we're talking about what. So if you're watching on replay and you don't have time to watch the whole thing, just check for the timestamps, okay? So we cover 90 Day Fiance, all kinds of things. Also have a second channel called Fatal Files with Elle, where we cover true crime. Let's get into this, you guys. Yesterday, I was on the road all day, and I did not have time to cover this new update that the Ashley Realities Roundup put out regarding what took place in court. What I can tell you is I did hear a little bit about previous court hearings where David would be disrespectful. Let's put it that way. At previous hearings, I heard that David was not respectful of, the courts, and he would be loud and be mouthy and things like that. So I'm actually not surprised to find out that David has been banned. I mean, due to everything that we know, the allegations against him, and then hearing that he is like mouthy in court, not surprised at all. Really quickly going to give a quick recap, okay? And I have people say all the time, we know this information already, but just for anybody that doesn't, quick recap, okay? So what we know is this past March, Janelle Eason regained custody of her son, Jace. Jace was 13, right about to be 14. Jace has not lived with his mom, Janelle, basically at all, essentially. Janelle was living with Barbara, 16 and pregnant, when she had Jace, and she did not stay at home after she had him. When he was just 6 weeks old, Janelle signed custody of Jace over to her mother, Barbara, due to the fact that Janelle had gotten into some legal trouble. And CPS was really like, pushing up on her to say, you're in a lot of legal trouble. You either need to sign your son over to somebody that's going to watch him and take care of him, or CPS is about to step in and they're going to place your son. So what happened was, sorry guys, making sure you guys can see me. What happened is that she signed Jace over to her mother, Barbara, and Barbara has raised Jace this entire time. Throughout the show, we've learned that Jace does struggle with ADHD. He needed therapy. So Barbara got him into therapy that he went to like every week. He was going to behavioral therapy. Jace did have some, problems with his behavior. I've wondered if he struggles from ODD, just because I have a child with ODD, and some of the things that I'm hearing about Jace and the struggles that he seems to go through, it does make me wonder if he has ADHD and ODD, which those two as a combination can be very difficult. Does it mean that the child is a bad child? Absolutely not. Does it mean that the child is a child going to struggle? 1,000%. Does it, from someone outside looking in, does it look like you have a bad child if the child has ODD? Yeah, it looks like it. But really, this is a mental, I hate to say disability, but like it's a situation and it's real. ODD exists, okay? So ODD is called oppositional defiant disorder. And if you don't know anything about it, it honestly looks like there's just a child that don't want to listen. But it's a real internal struggle with the child to believe authoritative figures, to respect authoritative figures, to believe that a child almost puts themselves in place as an adult, so they feel like they know just as much, and they have a hard time trusting an adult, that an adult knows more, and it can get rough, okay? Does this mean that a child deserves to be beat or that the child is a bad child? No, because this is absolutely something that they struggle with eternally, you know? Either way, so Jace has had some struggles throughout his life with Barbara. It's gotten hard for Barbara several times. Oh my goodness, I'm so shallow. Whew. My 9-year-old has ODD, autism, ADHD, and a few other. Wow. I would have to imagine that's very difficult. Um, it's hard. ODD is very hard. And, some doctors have never even heard of it. But because I have a child that has it, that's how I come to know about it. Um, So here's the thing. Barbara has gotten older. There's been this, back and forth between her and Janelle. Janelle has taken Barbara to court at least on 2 occasions to try to get custody back of Jace, but the judge never ruled in her favor and never gave Jace back to her. The judge always said Jace needs to stay where he is. And honestly, if Jace does have ODD and we know he has ADHD, if he has any other mental health problems, then moving him from somewhere where he did have stability to the land where there seems to be no stability, no order, chaos, fighting, it can be very detrimental to his mental health, which seems to be probably was too much for him. That's just my opinion. Anyways, so this past March, Barbara said, I'm going to let you have the opportunity to raise your son. You have begged me all these years. You've taken me to court all these years. I've spent tons of money, on lawyers, on legal fees, but I'm getting too old. I'm retired now, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to raise your son. So this past March, Barbara willingly signed rights to Jace over to Janelle. Janelle put this whole, Facebook, this YouTube post up, crying, showing her with the paper, saying it's done. Finally, it shows her, in the room with her attorney, getting the paperwork, saying like, "Oh, mom's so ready for this. She's already planned a cruise." Um, and after that, from what we know, was Jace was with her. He was in her care. He was living at the land. He got enrolled into the charter school that her other kids attend. And, we hope life will be great, that Jace would acclimate to, you know, this new situation and that everything would be great. But that's not what happened. He did not acclimate well. He started this new school, this charter school, where he got picked on and he got kind of harassed over the fact that his mother has an OnlyFans page. That was a big struggle per my sources and per other. I mean, it's out there. People have acknowledged that Jace has gotten this has been a thing, the OnlyFans with Janelle, that was a struggle for Jace. He goes to school, it's a new school, and every guy that, kid his age that he's trying to be friends with, they know about Janelle's OnlyFans. So that was a struggle for him. Janelle took him off his medication. He was on ADHD medication for a little over 7 years, and he was going to his therapy appointments. Janelle quit the therapy appointments and took him off his medication. What we learned is Jace was expelled in August. August, I think it was 15th, maybe. Before that, though, Jace was not even attending school on a regular basis. Janelle wants to claim Jace is fine. Jace doesn't need medication. Then why was it to the point to where you could not even get him to attend school? If a kid is, not wanting to attend school and getting physical when they're not on medication, then maybe they potentially need medication. So Jay started running away in early August. He got expelled from school. He runs away. He is found. A week and a half later, he runs away again. He is found. And then September 28th, he ran away again for the final time. Melissa D, so they go to school all year round. They go for 9 weeks and they're out for either 2 or 3 weeks, right? So while our schools were just beginning in August, they may have been on, no, they weren't even on their break because they just got over their break. So this past Monday, I think it was, the kids just started going back after their 3-week break. So they go 9 weeks, take I think it's a 3-week break. Go back. They go all year round, taking a 3-week break every 9 weeks. Does that make sense? So for us, when it's like, well, hey, they just started school, right? No, they actually have been going all year. So he's been going to that school since March. So he runs away. News breaks that he runs away because, well, the 911 call. There's outlets that are on top of this that when any celebrity calls 911, like they know about it like that, right? So news breaks that Jace has ran away. Okay, every 9 weeks is 2 weeks. Thank you. He ran away. News breaks that he runs away. And we're covering this. What's happening? Why is he running away? We're finding out that before he ran away, he was posting on his TikTok some very concerning posts about being suicidal, about being unhappy, things like, if I died today, nobody would care, things like that. Saturday, we find out that he has been found. We find out that he was in the hospital Friday evening, Saturday, that Barbara was there with him, and that he told the medical personnel that he had been attacked by David Eason. The police were called, CPS were called, and he told them the same story that he had been attacked by David. Allegedly, there's marks for proof, like there was marks on his neck as well as on his arms. When the police started investigating this, where did it happen? Jace told them where it happened. They went to that house to talk to those people because it did not allegedly happen at David and Janelle's. It happened somewhere else. So they go to talk to the people, to ask, hey, did this happen at you guys' house? And they say, yes, it did. And we have ring cam footage of it if you guys want it. So they give the ring cam footage over to CPS and to the police department. So allegedly, this attack was caught on a ring cam footage. After that, Saturday morning, from what I was told per a source, Saturday morning, a judge signed over like a kinship to Barbara, removing Jace from Janelle's custody, placing him basically into the custody of CPS, being like overseen, but also giving Barbara what's called a kinship, I think. And Saturday, everybody was kind of, putting their heads together. It was obvious that he was not well mentally. He had not been on his medication. He was suicidal. He was unhappy. He had just allegedly been attacked by his mom's husband. So everybody thought that it would be in the best interest of Jace for him to go to an inpatient treatment program for a little bit. So Saturday, he left the hospital and went to a treatment program, right? This entire time, Janelle is acting like she knows where Jace is. However, it's coming out that she really don't know where he is. Like, I was told she don't know where he is. I was told by my source, Janelle doesn't know where he is. Okay. And she never would say Jace is here. Reports were coming out that she's lost custody. She's, on her social media saying, I didn't lose custody. I still have custody of my son. David's on his social media saying, we still have custody of Jace. There was people saying, I hope he's back with Barbara. And David was like, he's not back with Barbara. He's not even allowed to speak to Barbara, which I thought I saw how they like manipulated that. I'm like, what it is he's in a mental health facility where he can't call anybody right now. So David is manipulating the truth to make it something that it's not. That while, yeah, he's not allowed to talk to Barbara right now, he's not allowed to talk to anybody right now just because he just got to this facility and he can't call anybody for now. So, anyways, why would they tell her where Jace was? Yeah, the thing about it is they did not want to tell her where Jace was because they did not want her trying to go get him. They wanted to make sure everything could be done properly, that the paperwork could be done properly, and she did not find out where he was, where she could show up to try to get him. Either way, this past Tuesday, Jace was released from the program. Barbara went and picked him up. Now, more paperwork has been done, to give once again, Barbara to be his primary custodial parent. Janelle no longer has custody of Jace, and this is all through court documents. When Barbara picked Jace up sometime that evening after she got him, someone that is aware of who Barbara and Jace is, but not so much so that they knew what was happening, they pulled up beside Barbara and Jace at a stoplight. And they're like, "Oh, wow, it's Barbara and Chase from the show." They had no idea the drama that was going on though, so they had no idea that by posting this, that it was going to answer a big question. Where is Jace? Is he back with Barbara? So this person took the photo, put it up, and was like, "Hey, look who I ran into." And it answered everybody's question, like, "Oh, he's definitely back with Barbara." Um, so he's back with Barbara, and the Ashley posted a report day before yesterday about how the judge has placed him back with Barbara, and the judge refused to um, let David and Janelle like even speak to him essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, now yesterday when I was on the road, another article came out, and I knew this was going to happen. I was waiting on it. I told my husband that morning, I'm like, I know we have somewhere to go, but I know this is going to break when I'm gone. Like, I know it's going to happen when I'm gone, and it did. But that's okay. We're here to talk about it today. So let's read the Ashley's updated article. Okay. Okay, exclusive. David Eason removed from courtroom during Janelle Eason's custody hearing. Investigation into David's alleged abuse of Jace and siblings is ramping up. Okay, let me get this a little bigger so you guys can see it. All right. Woo, scary. Okay, scroll down a little bit. Okay. Janelle Evans had her day in court on Wednesday. Now, this is the day after Jace gets out of the facility to try to hold on to custody of her oldest son, Jace. But the star had to do it without her ever present husband, David Eason. It's weird that he feels like he has to be there for everything. Like, I know I like to have Sean with me at things, but if it was something like this, I know, Alicia, jump scare. If it was something like this where these allegations were being lodged at my husband, I might would be like, you know what, just sit this one out. I'm going to go deal with this. Holly, yeah, I would not doubt it. Honestly, looking back into the 2019 custody case and the way that he gaslit Marissa so bad, I would not put it past him to show up just to try to intimidate Jace. I don't think he's above that. I think that is definitely something that he would do. Okay, now the Ashley can exclusively reveal that David was removed from the courtroom after he showed up to the hearing where Janelle and her mother Barbara were battling legal rights to Jace. As the Ashley previously told you, a judge immediately signed Jace into the care of Barbara, although he is currently officially into the custody of CPS. Janelle was stripped of her custody of Jace and is no longer allowed to see or speak to him unless the contact is initiated by Jace himself. And I'm like, I don't know what a parent has to do because I know, like Louisiana, they are all about keeping children with their parents, specifically mothers. They're a really big supporter of like children being with their moms. They're also really big on reunification. So if children are taken, bringing them back together and working through therapy and counseling and all that to get the family back together. But like, I don't know what a parent has to do. I feel like it has to be enough that the judge, I feel like a judge has to see enough evidence that you are harming your child for a judge to make that call. That call, right? Okay. David is also banned from having any contact with Jace. According to a courthouse source, Janelle and Barbara, as well as Jace, were with CPS all morning, with their court hearing taking place in the afternoon. The Ashley sources tell her the people at court were shocked when David walked in. The Easons are very well known around here, obviously, and we couldn't believe it when he showed up, considering what's going on right now. The sources tell the Ashley that David was promptly booted from the courtroom. Whoops. Okay, sorry. Per the source, David cannot be anywhere around Jace whatsoever. Plus, there's an open investigation on him right now for Jace, stating that David allegedly assaulted him last month. So they removed him ASAP. Speaking of the investigation, the source tells the Ashley that the detective who was assigned to the case when Jace was admitted into the hospital last month was at court on Wednesday. So when Jace ran away on that Thursday and he ended up in the hospital that Friday, he ran away on Thursday, and that Friday night he was in the hospital. The cops were there. So the officer that was there that night that took Jace's statement about the abuse, he was also in court. Toasted Network, let me get that. Why isn't David arrested yet? And what about Kaiser? That's a good question. And from what I'm hearing, they're taking their time investigating everything. That's what I'm being told. That's my understanding. Okay, so because Jace told the court about the alleged assault on him by David, as well as other alleged abuse of the other kids, the detective was asking for documentation and other items. The second source tells the Ashley. The investigation into the alleged assault on Jace and the other alleged abuse is ongoing and is ramping up. The court source states Janelle was informed during the hearing that because she and David allegedly did not cooperate with CPS, DSS, the first times they tried to come to the land, a judge has ruled that her two youngest kids, Kaiser and Inslee, will be interviewed by the authorities without Janelle and David present, something the Easons had previously not allowed. I think that's a big thing there. I think that's a really big thing that a judge is ordering that Kaiser and Inslee will be questioned without parents there. I think that's going to be huge. It was said in court that the first time CPS came, they did not let them in. The second time they came, David thought they were trespassers and threatened to shoot them. What? How do you see all this ending? Could this sink, Jen? Oh, Janelle. I'll tell you guys how I see it ending in just a second. I'm going to read the article and then I'm going to answer all your questions. But I see it ending with the kids being removed. That's just my 2 cents. And I'll get more into that in just a second. Isn't that wild though? First off, what makes you believe that somebody's trespassing, especially if it's CPS? CPS drives up to your gate. They're waiting for you to open the gate and you think they're trespassers? That's not going to be a good look that you're trying to shoot CPS. What? Holy crap. Okay, so the third time they came in, but Janelle only allowed the kids to be interviewed while she was present. The kids will now be interviewed away from Janelle. Okay, the Ashley previously reported that Jace does not want to speak or see his mother. In fact, according to the court source, Jace asked the judge if he could testify in a room because he did not want to testify in the same room as Janelle. It is unknown if the judge allowed Jace to testify elsewhere or if the team was required to do so in court. Jace was ultimately placed in the care of Barbara, although he officially remains in CPS custody. Another hearing will take place later this month so that the judge can check in on how things with Jace is doing with Barbara. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you so much. As of press time, Janelle and David have remained silent on losing custody of Jace. On Thursday, though, Janelle posted several photos to Instagram of her and David toasting over lunch. Y'all, I can't even. I appreciate everything you do, girl. Your channel has always been a motivation for me. I pray Kaiser is saved ASAP. I can only imagine. Thank you so much, Allegedly with Brittany J. And Allegedly with Brittany J has a channel as well, you guys. Y'all can check her channel out. Thank you so much. I pray for Kaiser and I worry about him as well because I think he is probably gets it the worst out of anybody outside of when Jace maybe came. But this is blew my mind yesterday. And it made me feel like David and Janelle have lacked self-awareness to like the fullest degree possible. So Janelle bragged that David has not had alcohol in 7 days because he just don't feel like drinking it anymore. Like, what? This guy hasn't touched alcohol in 7 days. Literally said, "Just don't feel like drinking it anymore." That's an accomplishment. CPS is watching you, girl. CPS is watching you. Their eyes are on you, and you're putting up posts about being happy that he's went 7 days without drinking? Like that's some sort of great thing? Like, I'm like, yeah, how do you go first off, how do you go have drinks and be celebrating at a time like this when your child just said he don't even want to speak to you, nothing to do with you, don't want to see you, don't want to see you, don't want to talk to you, nothing. And then your husband's getting kicked out of the courtroom. CPS is watching you and you're making posts that basically is outing your husband as an alcoholic, essentially. And that's what I took from it. That if you are posting a picture of you and David, oh, and first off, she also went live on TikTok. It was either a live or a post where you could see David in the background rolling up a blunt or smoking a blunt or smoking a joint or something. I've seen all kind of people talking about it. How she was high and he was like rolling it up or something. And I'm like, CPS, are y'all trying to lose custody of your kids? Are y'all trying to make it super easy? She is giving them ammunition by being out celebrating. Back in, the way that she's blamed this on Jay's, all of this on Jay's, um, celebrating that he's went 7 days without drinking. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, I might would be careful with what I post because they're watching you. Now, here's what I got to say about the kids being um, spoken to by CPS. So you can have like they have a medical marijuana card, but it's out of New York. It's not even, or it's out of LA. They have a medical marijuana card, but it's out of LA. It's not even out of North Carolina. Um, so here's my thoughts. Um, they are actively denying everything that Jay said. David put up, let's see, where's it at? On October 4th, he put this up. Apparently, someone got false information from the sheriff's department. This should be interesting. However, before that, he was saying Barbara filed false police reports, that Barbara was lying to the police. Now it's, oh, the police are giving people false information. I'm like, no, what's happening here is you're being investigated, buddy, and they just haven't arrested you yet. So they may be like sidestepping, when they talk to you, they may be telling you you ain't got nothing to worry about because they don't want you to run. They don't want to have to worry about you shooting at them or something. But the sheriff's department, here's the thing: when you fill out for like a FOIA, or you contact the sheriff's department as like media to try to get information, they're gonna like they're not gonna lie. They're gonna tell you what's happened. They're gonna send you these reports. Speaking of, I did a FOIA for Honey Boo Boo, her boyfriend Draylon, whenever he ran from the police, and I did get that report back the other day. So we're gonna be going over that report in the coming days. Okay. Um, I mean, what the police got it out for you? They're gonna lie to people? No. Okay. So here's what I think is gonna happen with CPS. CPS investigators, they have psychiatrists, they have therapists, and all of these people that work for, that work, it's all intertwined, basically. So I think if they can get Kaiser and Inslee, if they can question them without David and Janelle, while I do think David and Janelle will try to coax them, like Coach them? Coach them. Coach what word am I thinking about? Coax them. While I think David and Janelle will try to tell them what to say and what not to say, I think they'll say, "Don't talk about this. Don't talk about that. If they ask you this, say yes, no, yes, no." I think they're gonna try to tell them how to respond, but CPS, they have I think they'll be able to tell whether or not the kids are lying or trying to hide it. But I also think they will put them in a setting to where the kids will not even realize that they're being questioned, so to speak. Like they'll have Inslee in like a little playroom where there's like a psychiatrist in there with her, where they're just chit chatting, about what's your favorite thing to do at home? And it'll be something like that to where Lindsay, to where Inslee will just spill the beans and not even know that she's like telling. I think CPS will probably be able to know if the kids are answering in a way to where it appears that they've been coached, right? So I think them questioning the kids away from the parents, I think that's a great thing. And I think this could be like what it takes. If Jace spoke to the judge and told the judge about the abuse that he endured, but not only what he endured, but allegedly what other abuse was going on within the house with the other children. I think that could be a big thing. If he says, and I was told this by a source, that the way David spanks Inslee is he grabs her by her arm. This is what I was told. And do I believe it? I do. I do believe it. I was told that the way Davis, and I know everybody's like, "Oh, Inslee's probably the princess. She probably never gets in trouble." And I do think Inslee's probably treated. I think David probably treats Inslee really good, but I personally believe David also has anger issues. That when he gets angry, he's going to react inappropriately, anyways. So I think I was told that when he gets mad at Inslee and he's going to spank her, he grabs her by her one arm, pulls her up, and pops her on the butt. So much so that it has left marks across her butt and backside that has stayed there for days to come. Can I see that? I can see that. I feel like we've seen him react on the show, on social media. Back in 2019 when they were in court and they would leave court and he would be yelling at the cameras and yelling at Nathan because Nathan was talking to TMZ. I feel like I feel like I can see him losing his cool to do that, right? Inslee is 6 years old. So I feel like he probably treats her good compared to the others, but still not good according to normal standards. Exactly, exactly. Also, somebody said something about Marissa being questioned. Well, they're obviously going to question all of the kids. They're obviously going to question all the kids. But here's what I got to say about with the Marissa thing. I doubt Marissa will ever speak on it again. No one can. Exactly. Do you guys remember what happened back in 2019 when Marissa spoke up? When Marissa testified? You know what I'm saying? When literally she tried to save her and her siblings. She got on that stand. She told about the fighting. She told about the drinking, the marijuana. She told about all these. I mean, we know all these things. Back in 2019, the reports were coming out that while it's sealed, so we don't know everything that is being said, we do know that Marissa took the stand. It was mind boggling the things that she was saying was happening. She trusted CPS, and like the day after she testified, the judge puts her back in that house. I'm sorry. I would not blame Marissa if they, you know, tried to question me. I would probably be like, I'm not saying nothing. Because last time I talked to y'all, And I told the truth, and I got up on the stand and I told the truth in front of everyone. I sat there crying. A judge put me right back in this house. And not only that, but after that, my dad called me a liar. My dad recorded a phone call with me calling me a liar and then released it to the whole world to make it look like I was a liar. So, no, sorry. I don't want to talk to you guys. I mean, I could not blame her for that. You know? So, I do think this will be kind of where, I think everything's kind of coming to a head. CPS, what we know now though is CPS they went out there twice to try to talk to the kids and was unable to get through the last time they were. And but they had to do it in front of Janelle and David. Um, so now they're going to be able to question the kids away from Janelle and David. And I think with their testimony, Kaiser's testimony, Inslee's testimony, and Jace's testimony, and Marissa's 16, I'm sure they'll question her too. But I just would not I would understand if Marissa decided not to speak to them, or if Marissa decided, I'm not saying any daggum thing because of what happened last time. I mean, this girl was 12 years old last time. I think she was 12. And she did not want to see David after she was removed from that house. She was put on the stand. Y'all, as a 12-year-old, this little girl was put on the stand, testified for CPS, and said, this is what happens. It's bad. I don't want to go back. I don't want to be around them, and she was put back in the house. I don't know what kind of judge would do that. I really don't. At bare minimum, a judge should have seen she's on the stand crying, saying it's chaos, it's yelling, it's screaming, it's fighting, it's drinking, it's drugging. At bare minimum, even if the judge thought, well, it's a little chaotic and there's some yelling, but there's no abuse here. At bare minimum, the judge should have said, you know what? Then if you want to go back and live, if you don't want to go back to that house, Marissa, I'm not making you. I don't necessarily think there's abuse, but you're clearly unhappy, so I'm not sending you back there. That judge didn't do that. That judge sat there, listened to Marissa on the stand, and then sent her back. So I could not blame Marissa if she said, I'm not telling you guys nothing. But I do think with what Jace is telling them, and after they question Kaiser and Inslee, and Kaiser, you know how after Jace ran away, Janelle's like, all my kids are good. They're doing good. They're doing good in school. They're doing good here. Well, Kaiser had just been suspended. Kaiser had just been suspended from school. Okay. So, no, they're not all doing good. You got one child that's suspended, one child that's expelled, the same child that's expelled running away. No, something is, amiss there. Let me read that comment. Let me see. What do the kids have a plan like the Turpin kids? Jace was their hero helping Inslee, Marissa, and Kaiser. I do think Jace is like, I'm about to lay it all out there. As someone who's been interviewed as a child about issues I endured, I can say the psycho pros are damn good at what they do. The kids being coached won't hold a candle to what'll be revealed. Yeah, I think here's the thing, CPS, this is not their first rodeo. They are used to parents coaching their children. They're used to parents saying, don't say this, don't say that. Make sure you say this, try not to say that. If they ask if daddy yells, say no. He don't yell. If they ask if daddy punches holes in the wall, say no, he doesn't do that. They'll get it out of them. So David and Janelle did not make her testify. She testified for CPS. And she was probably asked, like, do you want to testify? But from my understanding, when she testified, though, Janelle and David's attorney didn't necessarily take it easy on her, when she was like cross examined by their attorney, which is like, what, really? And then David and Janelle, when they did their little docu-series or whatever, or not even when they did the docu-series, but after Marissa testified, they recorded themselves afterwards when they got home saying, oh, Marissa testified again today. It wasn't as bad, But, at least she didn't lie today or something like that. I don't know. She was like, "Oh, she got caught in some lies today." And they're, like, literally calling Marissa, who is 12 years old, a liar, saying that she lied on the stand. Where will the kids go? Okay, so I think Nathan should sign over his rights to his mother, Doris. This is my opinion there. Because Nathan ain't where he needs to be either. Sorry, you're not, Nathan. Like with you, trying to and Nathan was always kind of like very down to earth, and he's got demons though that's got him where he can't take care of Kaiser either. He hasn't seen Kaiser in like 7 months. Actually, longer than that now. If they take the kids again, they'll place Kaiser with Doris, his grandmother, like they did last time. I think Nathan should go ahead and give his mother custody of Kaiser. That way, if they don't take Kaiser, maybe she could at least fight for him, and she'll have custody. So I think Kaiser will go with Doris. I think Marissa will go back to her Granny's house, which is her mother's mom, or maybe her mom. Marissa will either go to her mom or her grandmother. Jace obviously with Barbara. I think the only one that we're gonna have is Inslee. Not really sure where Inslee will go. I don't know if Barbara will be open to taking Inslee. She took Inslee last time, and it caused her a lot of problems because Janelle was bashing her online for doing it. They may come to the school to question them. Yeah, Elle Bee. Yep, it's been said that David does hit Inslee and slaps her on the face. No one is safe. I've been told that as well. I've heard things about him backhanding kids, picking them up by their arm and spanking them across their butt and their back, leaving marks that last for days. I've been told those same things. Uh, Trust me, this will all come to a head by the end of the month. They're just getting their dog spot, etc. Yeah. David probably threatened Marissa to never speak about what's going on again. And here's the thing, I would be like, no, you ain't got to worry about me. Look what happened last time. I'm sure she has no trust in the courts anymore. She was done so wrong. Yep. Really toasted. I think toasted is accurate because I heard the same thing. Um, I can't imagine the intimidation tactics David is using to frighten the kids. And the thing about it is, we've heard him be manipulative to the kids. David and Janelle, after they regained custody back in 2019, they released this docu series. And in this docu series, there was a phone call that they recorded with Marissa. And they recorded that phone call, uploaded it, thinking that it was going to make them look good. It did not. It was literally like the sickest phone call, to hear a dad talk to his daughter. First off, David was on the phone with Marissa's mom. This is right after they regained custody, right after Marissa had testified for days about hating it at the property, about the yelling, the fighting, and all of this. We don't even know what all she testified to because it was sealed, I do believe. But we heard little tidbits, right? Um, right after she testifies, and it was hard, crying on the stand, very difficult situation. The judge says, you got to go back. So before David went to pick her up, they were going to pick up like Kaiser, I think. And he called and he's talking to Marissa's mother. And he's like, who's telling Marissa to lie on me? Why did she lie on the stand? And Marissa's mom is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like we told her to tell the truth. We did not tell her to lie. We encouraged Marissa to tell the truth. And as far as I know, like she didn't lie about anything. He's like, oh, well, she definitely lied. She definitely lied. And he's like, and Marissa's mom is like, do you want to speak to Marissa? And he's like, well, yeah, I would like that since I haven't talked to her in weeks. So she puts Marissa on the phone. Marissa's like, hello. And And he's like, "Hey, sweet pea," like, voice changes. "Hey, what you doing?" She's like, "Nothing," and you can tell she's very uncomfortable. "Nothing." Um, and he starts talking about the court thing. You know what? "Who told you to lie? Like, I know somebody because you told some lies up on that stand, Rissa." She starts crying, and she's like, "Am I gonna be able to see my mommy and my Granny again?" And he starts laughing. He's like, What would make you think you're not gonna see them?" And he says, "If the thought of seeing your mom and your Granny upsets you this much, maybe you don't need to see them." Twisted. First off, Marissa was so scared. The reason she was crying is at the thought of not being able to see her mom and her Granny. The thought of not seeing them, not the thought of seeing them, but David twisted it. Then David says, you don't need to listen to anything anybody else tells you. You don't need to listen to anything your mother tells you. You need to listen to what I tell you." On the phone with this baby. I mean, she's like 12. It was, and they literally uploaded this thinking that it served them some type of like positive purpose. It did not. It made them look horrible. Horrible. Everybody commented was like, "Are y'all serious? Like, you think this makes you look good?" Like, this David was completely gaslighting her. Like, I can't believe y'all would put this up and think that this is great for y'all. It's not. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I feel like Marissa just keeps to herself. She's probably there, protecting her little siblings. And the second she gets 18, she's probably going to boot out. It did. Yeah, the docuseries was awful. It made them look bad. Hey, Bailey's Irish Cream. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, that phone call was unhinged. The unself awareness. Yep. It eclipsed any and all other dark behavior we've witnessed. Yeah. It's just wild. Um, Years ago. So, yes, years ago. And so one thing that I didn't really think about is David got custody not long after he got with Janelle. So they probably had the money to fight. I do know that Marissa's mom struggled with addiction back in the day. Um, but I do know at the 2019 court, it was said that her mom was there like every day. Her mom and her Granny was there. I know, like poor Kaiser. His dad like has get it together, Nathan. Please. Yes. David has another child named Caden that he does not get to see. That he does not get to see. Marissa's mom wasn't even entertaining the conversation because she was a victim of his abuse before Janelle was. Thank you so much. What is this? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, she would have. Thank you so much. Yeah, Nathan has liver cancer. Is it liver cancer? And PTSD, and he has his demons. But I really wish he would, you know, go through some immense therapy. Yes. David Eason has a son named Caden that probably is what, 10 years old now, 12 years old, maybe? And he has not been able to see him in several years. As a father, though, he should be more cautious about what he posts online. It affects his kids as much as it does him, if not worse. Janelle will never defend her children, as we have seen time and time again. It will be interesting to see if any of the children, when of the age, spill the secrets on the land. I think it's going to happen. I definitely think the children will talk. Where's Jace's father, Andrew? Andrew spoke out after Jace ran away the second time. He put out a video and was like, Jace, hit me up. You've ran away twice now. Please hit me up. We need to talk. But I don't know. I don't know how I trust him either. Like you don't know him. Jace does not know you. It's been 14 years. He has not seen Jace since Jace was a baby. All right, so here's an article about David's son. It's an older one, but Andrew. Absolutely. That phone call showed the true narcissist that David and Janelle are and how they gaslight every person that they come in contact with. It was mind boggling. But they put it up and thought it was going to help them in some way. Okay, so this is David's son, Caden, and David's ex. All right, teen mom Janelle Evans, husband David Eason's son Caden, 9, smiles in his mom Olivia Ledham's rare photos. The little boy has remained out of the public eye amid his strained relationship with David Eason. But Caden, who is 9, reappeared on Instagram Monday in a rare photo set shared by his mom Olivia. Okay, so he was 9 back in February 20th. So he's 9. He's 9. The mother of 2 took to her profile to post snaps as she and her kids enjoyed the day at the beach. The blonde posted on a shipwreck buoy facing away from the camera with her daughter Layla for the first photo. In the second, she snapped her little girl laughing with her older brother, David Eason's son, Caden. The duo was covered with sand, though they were wearing sweatpants, hoodies, and a life jacket for the outing. A third photo showed Olivia smiling while holding a sand dollar, and in the fourth, she sat in a kayak with Caden, throwing a peace sign to the camera. She included various other shots from the day, and in one, Caden pointing excitedly to the ocean with his mouth wide open as he spotted something in the distance. The young mom captioned the post, "The cold can't keep us away. Water, kayaking, buoy, family, a bright future." The post came as a bit of a shock as Caden is rarely seen on Instagram like the rest of David's kids. He also shares Marissa with his ex Whitney, Inslee with his wife Janelle. Janelle has Jay's 13 with Andrew, Kaiser 8 with Nathan. Janelle's jabbed. David's relationship with his ex Olivia has been strained for years, and she has often been the target of his and Janelle's social media attacks. In March, fans slammed Janelle for body shaming Olivia by making a cruel comment about her boob job online. It all started after David's model ex showed off her curves in a tiny orange bikini on the gram. She wore a camo trucker hat and sat on a wooden table outside, her knees tucked underneath her. Olivia smiled as she leaned forward to hold onto the chair in front of her, showing off more cleavage in the slinky top. Over one side of her bikini, she held a little shell emoji covering seemingly covering a nip split. The location was tagged Wilmington, North Carolina. She wrote, "Summer is on the way." Janelle, who was previously accused Olivia of using GoFundMe money she raised for a custody lawyer on a boob job, reportedly saw the new snap and called out the model. Using User Kitty Jakers shared a grab of the ex-Teen Mom Star's post on her IG story before she later deleted it. The mother of 3, who has admitted to having her own breast done, wrote, "Gotta admit, your boobs look really bad after using people's donation money for breast implants." Fans slammed her on Reddit for making fun of someone else's body, especially as she's been so vocal about calling people out who have done that to her. The original poster wrote, "Janelle is body shaming people again." David's ex of all people. I guess she deleted the IG story shortly after. She's still bitter that Olivia made extra money on a GoFundMe a couple of summers ago. One user commented, I thought Janelle was all about body positivity. I guess that doesn't apply to David's ex." Another said Janelle's life is chaos and she hates seeing people do better than her. So here is Caden when he was smaller. cute kid, cute kid. But he has not been allowed to see Caden in a couple of years. A nip slip is where your little nip slips out into the public. That's what it is. It's legit a nip slip. Sorry. Um, no, Shine, you don't have to demonstrate what a nip slip is. I can tell them. Okay. Um, anyways, you guys, we're gonna continue to keep up with the story. Let me check something really quickly. Okay. Alrighty. Making sure nothing else has popped off. If anything else pops off today, I'm gonna let you guys know. But I will have to say that the comment that Toast did put up earlier about there being a witness to David like popping kids in the face. I was told that as well. Also told that his way of spanking Inslee is up by one arm and popping to the point to where marks last for days. Also, I may talk about Kale later. She did confirm baby number 5, so we might put that out there. We might go over her People Magazine article because she put it out to People Magazine. But we will be talking about Ryan Edwards later today. Ryan Edwards on the reunion revealed that his latest overdose, the one where he was in the truck and he hit a tree, that was on purpose. That's what he revealed on the Teen Mom reunion. So we're going to talk about that. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel. We are going to follow this, you guys. We're going to follow, 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 follow. And listen, I'm still trying, like Andrew, Jace's dad. If you come across my channel and you want to talk, I would love to talk to you. Come on, come to the channel, and I would love to, hear your thoughts on what's happening with Jace. Um, but yeah, don't forget to click the like button. Also, we are trying to get my channel to 100K. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're going to stay on top of this. We're going to be talking about Teen Mom star Ryan Edwards and the overdose that he says was on purpose. We may do Kale revealing that she's pregnant. We may also cover Savannah Chrisley saying that she cut ties with her sister Lindsay due to Lindsay's constant lies and victim mentality. So make sure you are subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys back here later. Bye, guys.